Hello students, so we are back with the business law discussion for BBA 5th semester. So in our previous classes we had discussed about here the two important essentials of the valid contract, like offer, its legal rules, types of the offer, and the modes when the offer lapses. And then we had studied about the acceptance and the rules relating to the valid acceptance. So essentially, as per section 10, we had seen the valid offer must be there and valid acceptance must be there to form a contract. So this we had discussed in our previous class. Now we'll move to the next aspect. So here mainly the next essential we are going to study of a valid contract is the capacity of the parties, or we can also call it as competency of the parties. In other words, the parties entering into the contract must be competent to make the contract. So that is here mainly they must have a capability of entering into a contract. That is called as the capacity to enter into a contract. So this is here what is we are going to study the capacity of the parties. So here the variety of questions you will be having here, and as and when we proceed here I will be mentioning you what type of questions you will be getting. So the first question you can mainly come across is for 2 marks. Who is competent to contract? So this may be a question for your examination in 2 marks. Who is here capable of entering into a contract? So here the mainly law has laid down certain mainly the requisites here for the persons to enter into a contract. So what are those restrictions, requisites? We have to study that. So in other words, at the very outset, try to remember here all persons are not eligible to make the contract. But as I told you, here the law will be always in a positive side. So what the law says that here mainly the persons, all persons are eligible to contract. Later it gives those restrictions. So these persons they must have these qualifications. Then only they can enter into a contract. So like this, the law always gives the positive. It will not speak immediately the direct here that who is not eligible to make a contract. Here indirectly through giving the positiveness of that concept, here we have to take who are not eligible to make the contract. So that is how we have to think, and this is a 2 marks question from your examination. So in this session I will be discussing about this. It's a very small here session for you here for the discussion, and then here we will proceed with the main aspects here how the questions will appear in your examinations. So this is the first 2 marks question you are required to know. Who is competent to contract? So section 11 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, section 11 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 mentions here all persons are competent to contract. So you can see the positive approach given in the law. Always there will be a positive approach. So there is a positive concept that has been here included. All persons are competent to contract, but there you can see provided they are major. So the first one is provided they are major. Here they should be of sound mind and not disqualified by law. So these 3 things you have to remember. So if the question is there, who is here eligible to make a contract, who is here competent to make a contract, what you have to answer is section 11. So all persons are eligible to make a contract. That here initially it doesn't say that here there are some persons who are barred from making into a contract. No, the law never starts its mainly the concepts with a negative here approach. Always it will be in a positive thing. So try to understand this. Here all persons are competent to contract. So the first statement is very clear. All persons are eligible to enter into a contract provided he is a major. He should be a major, he should be of sound mind and not disqualified by law. So we will try to analyze this. So if a 2 marks question is there, you have to write this answer. All persons are competent here to enter into a contract here, and provided they are major, they are of sound mind and they are not disqualified by the law. So if you write this, it is 2 marks question. So this can be asked for mainly 2 marks question. You can get this here mainly for 2 marks. Who is competent to contract? So but to make it more here understandable. So now we are going to here study the 3 concepts which have been given. Who are eligible to make the contract? So it is said the first one is here a major is eligible to do the contract. He should be a major. Now the question arises here, who is a major? In other words, here we can say that a minor is not eligible. Another question comes, who is a minor? So in the law, you do not have anywhere the definition of a minor. However, there is a definition for major. A definition for major is there, but there is no as such here a prescribed here mainly the definition for a minor. So what is a major? Who is a major? We can answer this question. So after understanding this, you have to come to the conclusion who is a not a major or who is a minor. You have to frame yourself the question. You have to frame that here the definition. So then only you will get that so and so person is not competent to contract. So the law says that the first one, who is eligible to make the contract, all persons are there, he should be first a major. Now who is a major? What is the definition of a major? But remember, this is not mentioned in our here Indian Contract Act. So we have to go with another important act, that is here the Indian Majority Act. The Indian Majority Act has given who is a major. Who is a major? The Indian Majority Act gives the definition. So according to this act, the here definition of a major is the person who has here attained the age of 18 years is a major. So this is what is the definition of a major. A person who has attained the age of 18 years here is a major. So this is the first aspect you have to know. So in other words, who is not a major? In other words, who is a minor? A person who is below 18 years is a minor and he is not competent to contract. He cannot make a contract. He cannot enter into a contract. So this is what you have to here mainly notice the thing. So when you get who is a major, he is eligible to enter into a contract. Then a person below 18 years is not a major. Then what we call him as? He is a minor and he is incompetent to contract. He is incompetent to enter into a contract. However, there are certain exceptions which we are going to see. The law relating to the minor, which is the most important question from your examination point of view, that we are going to discuss it later. Now just at the very outset, this should be remembered. A person here who has attained the age of 18 years is a major. So below 18 years he is a minor and he is incompetent to contract. Sometimes the majority here comes at the age of 21 also. Sometimes a person is considered to be here still not a major, though he has completed 18 years under a few circumstances. It's not here. The general rule is 18 years he is major, but under certain circumstances, like if the person is under the supervision of the court of wards. So the court of wards is looking after the mainly the person there. Or if he is under a guardian. So a guardian is there. In that case here mainly the majority comes on completion of 21 years. he should be 21 years that he becomes a major. If he is under the guardianship or if he is under the supervision of the court of wards, the majority here mainly comes after completing 21 years. So in this circumstance, though he has completed 18, he cannot be still considered as a major. So still he is a minor in these circumstances where he is under the supervision of the court of wards or under the supervision of a guardian. So in that, the majority comes at the age of 21. So two circumstances are to be mentioned. Who is a major? Who is a major? You have to answer to consider. General rule is that a person who has attained the age of 18 years, he is a major. Under certain circumstances, if the person is under the supervision of the court of wards or under the supervision of a guardian, he attains the majority at the age of 21. So in the first case, a person who is below 18 years can be called as incompetent to contract, and he is a minor. And in the second circumstance, till the age of 21, he is incompetent to contract, he is a minor. So he cannot make the contract. This is the thing how you have to give the explanation. So nowhere we have the definition of a minor, but you can get the answer who is a minor if you understand who is a major. So major is a person here mainly who can enter into a contract. This is the first thing. And the person must be of sound mind. In other words, a person of unsound mind is incompetent to contract. A person cannot enter into a contract. So if he is of unsound mind means here a person who is unable to take rational decisions in a contract. He is unable to predict about his rights or he could not understand the terms of the contract. So this is here we call him as an unsound person. Or he is a sound person, we say, if you take it in a positive sense, a person who can take rational decisions in the contract. He can understand the terms of the contract. He is knowing about his rights, what are his rights in the contract there. So he is rational minded. So in that person we call him as a sound. If he is unable to do this, we call him as an unsound, and a person of unsound mind cannot make a contract. So even temporary unsound mindedness, here the person is not competent to contract. So leave about is permanently unsound means like insane. Insanity is there. Here maybe he is a lunatic. In that circumstances he is not here eligible to make a contract because he is of unsound mind. Even the unsound mindedness may be for a temporary period. For example, if the person is under the influence of the drugs or alcohol, he is not in the conscious and he cannot here think and take the decisions. Rational decisions cannot be taken. He cannot arrive at a proper decision. So in this circumstance also we say that he is unsound mind. So unsound mindedness can be for a temporary period also. For a temporary period the unsound mind may come. So the person must be of sound mind. He should be able to take rational decisions in mainly the making of the contract. That is the mainly what we call it as sound mind. So if the person is here unable to take that rational decision, he is of unsound mind. Whether it is permanent unsound mindedness or temporary unsound mindedness, here he is incompetent to contract. This is the second aspect. And the last one, the person should not be disqualified by law. The person who is entering into a contract, he should not be disqualified by law. The law itself has disqualified that person from making a contract. It is not any person. So as you know that the whole society, human here activities are governed by the law and everyone must abide by the law. So the law is here the whole and soul. For here mainly the good behavior of the human beings, they regulate their behavior in the society. So the laws are to be obeyed, and the law itself has expressly said that this person is not qualified here to enter into a contract. He is here disqualified. He is forbidden. A person who is forbidden expressly by law, he cannot make a contract. Then the question arises, who is mainly disqualified? So we have got certain examples like a convict. Convict is a person who is disqualified by law. He is barred in entering into a contract during the time of his conviction. During the time of his conviction, he is barred from entering into a contract. Now this question may come for 2 marks again. Who is a convict? So convict is a person who is undergoing a punishment for a offense he has committed. During the conviction period, during that punishment, he cannot enter into a contract. He is here incompetent, he is a convict. A person who is on trial can enter into a contract because still he is not punished. He may be guilty or he may not be guilty of the offense. But once the court has decided that he is guilty here and he is going under the conviction, during the conviction period he cannot enter into a contract. He is barred from entering into a contract. After he comes out, he completes his conviction period and comes out, he is eligible to make the contract. So a convict cannot enter into a contract. That is an example. He is forbidden by the law. He is disqualified by the law. Like also there is another one by name alien enemy. Alien enemy cannot enter into a contract. Alien enemy. Who is an alien enemy? This can be also asked for 2 marks. They can ask this question for 2 marks. Who is an alien enemy? So alien enemy. So to understand this, you must understand first who is an alien friend. So a person who is the resident of another country and is having here mainly the contractual relation with a person of the resident of India. So for example, A is a resident of India and B is the resident of here America. And there is a contractual relation. So the person B who is the resident of another country can be called as an alien friend. He is an alien friend, and they are mainly governed here by some international law and the RBI rules, and they can enter into a contract. That is here permitted. But here, when an alien friend becomes an alien enemy, alien means a foreigner. We call it alien objects. So alien objects are mainly foreign objects. So alien means a foreigner. So when does a foreigner here become from friend to an enemy? So when the war breaks out between the two countries where they are residing. So alien friend will turn into an alien enemy, and during the war period here no contractual obligation will be there. Even if there is any contract, it is suspended and no new contracts can be made during the war period. So when the war starts, alien friend becomes alien enemy, and alien enemy is disqualified by the law to enter into a contract. He cannot enter into a contract. He cannot make a contract. So he is barred from entering into a contract. So after the war period, here once again he can revive his contractual relations. So if he has any contract, even that at that time the war period, it is suspended. The contractual obligation are suspended. So such persons are disqualified. We are going to discuss more when we go into the details of the discussion. Just here now, who is competent to the contract? Here this definition I have mainly mentioned, which is given in section 11, and I have given you the mainly the meaning of this: who is a major, who is of sound mind, and here a person who is not disqualified by law. Or in other words, a person who are disqualified by law, we are studied as an example a convict, a here mainly alien enemy. So keeping this here, now we will be coming to the major question in this aspect, the competency of the contract. Now here, what is the law laid down in the act here relating to a minor? So this is a 10 marks question from your examination point of view. So that here the question will be here, discuss the law relating to the minor, or as I told you, it may be clubbed question: who is a minor and what is the law relating to the minor? So this may be a 10 marks question. This is our next question which we are going to study in detail. Now just I have introduced this topic to you, and there I have given you some important 2 marks questions will be here asked from your examination point of view. Keep this Here mainly the definition who is competent to the contract, and in our next session we will start with mainly here the law relating to the minor, which is very important, and you are going to study some here one or two decided cases also there. So we will have this in our next session. We will continue. Thank you.